What happens when the king of the monsters, a walking nuclear reactor forged in the crucible of atomic fire, is pitted against the most fearsome land predator in Earth's history? This is not just a battle. It is a collision of epochs, a war between the prehistoric world and the atomic age. On one side, 100 prime specimens of Tyrannosaurus Rex, the tyrant lizard king, the undisputed apex predator of the late Cretaceous period. Each stands over 12 feet tall at the hips, stretches 40 feet in length, and weighs up to 9 tons. Their primary weapon is a jaw capable of exerting the strongest bite force of any terrestrial animal known to science. An estimated 8,000 pounds per square inch, capable of crushing bone into powder. Their railroad spike teeth are designed not for slicing, but for puncturing and tearing through thick hide and flesh. While traditionally considered solitary hunters, for this scenario, we imagine them operating with a primal pack instinct. A coordinated swarm of 9-ton behemoths, driven by a singular, predatory purpose. They are the pinnacle of natural, terrestrial evolution. The most powerful biological killing machines their world ever produced. On the other side stands Godzilla. His specific size has varied across cinematic history, but we will use a common, formidable scale, 355 feet tall. He weighs an estimated 90,000 tons. This makes a single Tyrannosaurus less than 1% of Godzilla's body mass. To him, a T-Rex is proportionally smaller than a wolf is to a human. His hide is a form of biological armor, almost completely impervious to conventional weaponry, let alone simple teeth and claws. It has withstood artillery, missiles, and the crushing pressures of the deep ocean. His physical strength is geologic in scale, allowing him to topple skyscrapers and wrestle with other kaiju of similar mass. And then, there is the great equalizer. The one weapon that removes him from the realm of the biological and places him into the category of a living force of nature. The atomic breath. A focused, high-energy beam of pure radiation and thermal power that can melt steel and vaporize concrete. The arena for this confrontation is a vast, primordial basin. A sprawling, misty valley surrounded by impassable, granite mountains. There is no escape. The battle begins not with a roar, but with a tremor. Godzilla's footsteps shake the very bedrock, a rhythmic earthquake announcing his arrival. The 100 tyrannosaurs, initially scattered, are drawn by the sound. They see not a threat, but an unprecedented prize. The largest prey they have ever encountered. Instinct overrides caution. The first wave of about 30 T-Rexes charges. They move with surprising speed, their massive legs churning the earth. Their collective roar is a deafening chorus of primal fury. They converge on Godzilla's legs, a tide of muscle and teeth. The first T-Rex lunges, its massive jaws clamping down on Godzilla's ankle. The sound is not of tearing flesh, but of shattering teeth. The creature's legendary bite force is utterly negated. Its teeth, designed to crush the bones of a triceratops, break and splinter against Godzilla's impenetrable hide like brittle glass. Another T-Rex attempts the same, and another. They leap and bite, tearing at his legs, their most powerful weapon rendered useless. For a moment, Godzilla simply stands there, impassive. He seems to be observing, processing this strange, new annoyance. Then, he moves. He doesn't need to fight, not yet. He simply needs to walk. He lifts one colossal foot. The T-Rexes clinging to his leg are hoisted dozens of feet into the air before falling back to the ground. The foot comes down, not with a stomp, but with the simple, casual weight of a mountain. 3 tyrannosaurs disappear beneath it. There is no sound of a struggle, only the final, dull crunch of bone and flesh crushed into the dirt. The remaining predators in the first wave recoil in shock and confusion. Their alpha instincts are scrambled. Their greatest weapon has failed, and their target seems unaware that a battle is even happening. Godzilla continues his slow, ponderous walk forward, and this is when he deploys his tail. It's a 170-foot-long limb, a muscular, armored wrecking ball. He swings it lazily, a low, sweeping arc that moves faster than the T-Rexes can react. The impact is cataclysmic. a dozen T-Rexes are struck by the blow. They aren't just knocked over, they are launched. Their 9-ton bodies are thrown hundreds of feet, tumbling end over end like discarded toys. They land in broken, twisted heaps, their spines and limbs shattered. In less than a minute, a third of the T-Rex army has been annihilated without Godzilla mounting what could be considered a true attack. The remaining 70 or so animals are now driven by something more potent than predatory instinct: desperation. They change tactics. They begin to swarm, biting and clawing not just at his legs, but at his lower torso and the base of his tail. They are attempting to use their collective weight to unbalance him, to bring the mountain to the ground. For the first time, Godzilla is bothered. He lets out a low, guttural growl of irritation. He grabs one T-Rex by the neck, his massive, 3-fingered hand closing around it completely. He lifts the flailing, 9-ton creature into the air as if it were weightless. He holds it for a moment, observing it, before crushing its neck with a casual squeeze and discarding the body. He then leans down, his immense head lowering to the level of his attackers. He opens his jaws and bites one in half, the crunch echoing across the valley. The battle has now become a slaughter. Godzilla wades into the swarm, using his hands, feet, and tail with brutal efficiency. Each movement extinguishes several more lives. He is no longer just walking. He is actively fighting, and the sheer disparity in power and scale is laid bare. A T-Rex is a predator. Godzilla is a catastrophe. But still, a few dozen remain. Tenacious. Primal. They refuse to yield. They continue their assault, a final, futile act of defiance against a god. Godzilla has had enough. He stops, plants his feet, and arches his back. The air grows cold. A low, humming sound fills the valley, a sound that vibrates in the very marrow of the bone. His dorsal fins begin to glow. A soft, ethereal blue at first, pulsing slowly. The light intensifies, growing brighter, sharper, traveling up his spine from the tip of his tail to the back of his skull. The surviving T-Rexes hold their attack. They sense a fundamental shift in the nature of their opponent. This is not biology. This is something else entirely. Godzilla lowers his head. His mouth opens, and for a split second, there is only the blinding blue-white light of a captive star. Then, he unleashes the atomic breath. It is not a stream of fire, it is a focus beam of raw, cosmic power. It scythes across the battlefield in a perfectly straight line. The T-Rexes in its immediate path do not burn or cry out. They simply cease to exist. They are instantly sublimated, their bodies and bones turn to ash and vapor in less than a microsecond. The beam strikes the far side of the valley, and the granite mountain face explodes, sending molten rock splashing into the air. The thermal and kinetic shockwave radiates outward from the beam's path. T-Rexes hundreds of feet away are incinerated by the sheer heat or torn apart by the concussive force. The valley floor is flash-fused into black, glassy obsidian. Godzilla lets the beam cut across the remaining survivors for 3 long seconds. Then, the light dies. Silence returns to the valley. It is a dead, absolute silence, broken only by the crackle of superheated rock and the low hiss of steam. Where an army of 100 of the planet's most formidable predators once stood, there is now only a blackened, glassy scar upon the Earth. Not a single Tyrannosaurus remains. The confrontation was never a fair fight. The T-Rex, for all its power, was an animal bound by the laws of biology and physics as we know them. Godzilla is not. He is a living paradox, a creature of impossible scale and power. The ultimate apex predator is not the one with the sharpest teeth or the strongest bite. It is the one that can rewrite the rules of nature itself. In a war between the king of the lizards and the god of the monsters, the outcome is, and always was, inevitable.